Hello, science and magic. My name is Erin Anderson, and I am an energy alchemist and healer. And I am very excited to invite you to our singing bowl meditation, organized around the theme of heart coherence for collective healing. You know, there is so much that we cannot control in our human experience. The vast majority of everything that we encounter is outside of our control, and really the only thing that we have any kind of influence over is the way that we respond to that. So our own mind, our own responses to what's happening in the world, what's happening in our personal situation. And because the mind really dislikes that kind of uncertainty, it becomes really important for us to find ways of helping to move our nervous systems out of that fight, flight, freeze, sympathetic mode and into parasympathetic mode, the rest, restore, digest mode, where we're actually able to activate our body's healing responses and find our inner quiet. So not necessarily a positivity, not necessarily happiness, but an inner quiet, a quiet mind. And one of my favorite quotes from Deepak Chopra actually came recently in a presentation that he made just on Instagram Live, and he was talking about how a quiet mind is more valuable than a positive mind. And that probably shows up in a lot of his other works as well, and sounds very, very much like something that I would hear just from the mindfulness community in general. But I really appreciated the way that he phrased it. And what I took from that was that out of that capacity for a quiet mind grows our opportunity to be present with ourselves through different situations, through different emotions, and that we're able to broaden our experience, our human experience, and learn to see it more for what is actually happening versus our interpretation of that. So it's kind of a step forward, I think, in our quest for an authentic human experience, less colored by our ego and more representative of reality. So what does all of this have to do with sound healing or with crystal singing bowls? So a sound healing with crystal singing bowls provides some powerful support for the transition from chaos, from that fight, flight, freeze mode, into coherence, rest, restore, digest within our nervous system. It can help us to gain some comfort with and access to that quiet mind state that we are seeking. And that happens because coherent frequencies, which are produced by the bowls, support some positive shifts within the physical and the subtle or energetic bodies. These waves can kind of work to provide therapeutic support to systems that have been maybe agitated by anxiety or by depression. So during our 30-minute experience, I will be using singing bowls made of quartz crystal, like this, to create an immersive soundscape of these therapeutic tones, which are designed to restore coherence to the heart and to the nervous system. Because sometimes it's easy to forget that that is our natural state. That state of coherence is what we are returning to. We're not trying to kind of pull it out of nowhere. It truly is our natural state. So moving out the energies that keep us from accessing that, and that's part of what the singing bowls help us to achieve. So as you rest on your maybe yoga mat, your couch, maybe as you sit in your chair or on a cushion, quietly absorbing these waves of sound, you might start to notice a kind of downshift into physical states and into brainwave patterns that typically are only found during deep meditation or sleep. And then these slower delta and theta brainwave states naturally ease the physical body into that parasympathetic mode of repair, of regeneration, and help to stimulate the body's natural healing responses. They also help to fortify your relationship with your intuition and can help provide some access to other spiritual tools as well. So there are a lot of different ways that you might find your systems and your energy kind of responding to the tones from the singing bowls. So that's a bit about why the singing bowls. Just a little bit more about coherence. So you may have noticed that we talk about heart coherence, about coherence in the nervous system quite a bit and from many different angles in the science and magic community. And when we access our heart's coherence potential, we are in effect training ourselves to auto-regulate our physical and our energetic systems. So our heart then is able to send a signal up to the brain to say, everything is okay, I've got this. As you can see, things are quite calm here. But the heart also sends a signal out into the energy field, the magnetic field of the earth, saying, here is peace, calm is here, love is here. And this response, as I mentioned with that Deepak Chopra quote, we're not after positivity directly. This response, this coherence response, is not about plunging our heads into the sand or pretending that things are awesome when they might be falling apart completely. It just means that in spite of whatever it is that we are going through right now, we are able to find that place of peace, that we are able to raise the vibration of our bodies, that we're able to raise the vibration of the entire kind of planetary energetic composition enough to think clearly, enough to act from a place of discernment and purpose and intention. And then we're able to extend that grace to others. We're able to maintain our sense of inner quiet, even when we're encountering that noise and chaos. So I invite you to join me in experiencing this sound healing with crystal bowls. And I have recorded it separately, or I should say I will be recording it separately, so that you don't have to tune into this intro every time. You can just dive right into the sound. And since everyone kind of has a different sound system and set of devices that they're working with, I'll just say that it seems to be most effective to tune in with earbuds or with headphones of some kind. The vibrations from the singing bowls seem to be more immersive that way, and so the vibrations can kind of move into the body a little more readily. So that would be my recommendation. But whatever kind of setup you choose, the big deal here is really just to let yourself go. There's no particular meditation you need to do, no particular type of breathing. This is really about surrender. This is about letting the heart open, letting yourself receive these sound waves, letting them do what they need to do with the body. And if you're not feeling the kind of movement or the kind of shift that you want, let that be okay in the moment. You might come back to this same recording a number of times and notice a different type of response every time. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you soon. Blessed be.